Today we're fitting the LPG kit. I'm just having a quick check on making sure that all the parts are here. So we've got the tank, regulator down there. We have the filler and the actual mounting cup for it. All the copper work and conduit for wiring. We have the brackets that came with it, which I wasn't actually expecting because I didn't order them. And these are the brackets that I did order off another company. These are off Autocast 2000. A bit sturdier brackets, I figured. And yeah, all the fitting kit and the level as well that goes inside the van. Okay, so one of today's jobs is to change the gauge on the LPG tank for one that has wires coming off of it to go to a digital fuel gauge inside the van. So first of all, we need to remove the top cover. Okay, now this is the standard gauge. It's one that you have to take the cover off to see. First of all, if we take the two screws out holding that, one point to note is that the gauge isn't attached to anything underneath, so don't be afraid of removing this. It's just it works via magnets inside the tank which go to the back of the gauge. It's a completely separate unit to the actual tank itself, so there's no danger of leaks from that. Okay, so we can discard that. And right, now the two screws that was in, there are two further screws a little bit further round, and we need to use those on the new gauge. So this bracket has to come off using an Allen key. Again, don't be afraid of taking this off. There are a couple of dimples there and there which align with a couple of dimples on this actual alloy mount, so you can't reattach that without it being in the right place. Okay, this is the top of the tank and this is the top of the gauge. Now the only way this will fit on is using those two holes, otherwise your wires are in the way of any of these bolts, so it has to use those two that they're a bit further around to standard. Just pop it on there. One screw just a little bit in and the other screw. Okay, we can take those down now, but not too hard, it's only onto plastic. Okay, they're in place, I think. That's the one. Okay, now they're done, just reattach this bracket, which is the bracket that the top cover fastens in. So that's aligned with the two holes underneath. As I say, don't worry, you can't put it on any other way, so okay, that's tight. Okay, so these are the wires that I've just soldered on in the garage, and these will go eventually when I get the tank on the bottom of the van. These will come out of the tank, run along the chassis, inside conduit, and up into the van. So I hope that's helped somebody. In as much as having to use the different holes, I didn't get any instructions to say that that was the case. I've just looked at it and that's the only way it can go. I've just got some marks on some masking tape for where I need to drill holes to line with this bracket. Although the masking tape doesn't look like it's going to stick on for very long, so I should crack on with drilling it, I think. Yeah, the tank's going to sit between the rear diff housing and the spare wheel carrier, which will come off eventually because it won't fit with my new tyres. So, right, I shall crack on. The tape just lost it. You actually separate the tape. That's not working very well. That's a real poor idea, Phil. Okay, that's still good. Okay, so that's the 4 holes drilled. Hot shouty metal on my hand. Not in my face. That's what she said. Okay, because of the way I'm building Lilla, the floor is actually down already, which has created a slight problem, but not one that can't be worked around. These holes, there's one here, one a bit further across, just out of camera shot on the edge of there. They're the ones that I've drilled from underneath through the insulation and also through the floor of Lilla. There's still a top covering to go on here, probably some rubber mat to actually waterproof and seal off the garage a little bit. But my idea is to just use a hole cutter to cut down through the flooring and then the insulation, and that way I can just have a hole cut through and then re-put this disc on the top again. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, that's through that. Keep going. I'm going to make sure I don't drill through the metal as well. Yeah, that would be bad. Okay, touching metal, I think. That's right. Right on the edge of one of my little timber cross beams for my flooring. That was a bit weird. Okay. Vacuum in. The idea is that I've now got a hole to get to the floor. I can drop a washer in, bolt through and have direct metal to metal, and then be able to plug this back over the top and then the plywood piece over the top as well, and that way I've still got my floor back and I don't have to worry about the bolt having to come through so far and then go through insulation. We'll see how that works. And both brackets were pushed against the van with some wooden blocks and axle stands. Substitute Karen for the day. And this is the inside view of that. Can't remember where it fell, come on. Okay, so drop that one and on. Okay. And these are probably going to take some tightening. Being now lock nuts. See if I can do that without somebody else present. I've managed to shove a spanner into the bracket and jam it up with rags. That's my handy helper for today. Sorted. So yeah. All four tightened down now, so both brackets are in place. Okay, well, I don't even say how long it's taken to get to this stage. Motorcycle stand, chocks of wood, and finally the tank is actually in position. Fits nicely between the chassis rails. I've just got to sort the angle out because it's too low at the moment with the valves, and then tighten everything up properly, and then I can start on the actual pipe work and electrics. Hey, join me again, and the tank is at the I think correct angle. I'll check when it comes off the wheel ramps. So it's all clamped up tight now. I've got the jig hose that goes to the filler point, except the filler point isn't in yet, so that'll be a job for tomorrow, I think. I've also fitted an adapter which takes away the pigtail, and I've gone to an 8mm copper pipe. Okay, so the 8mm copper pipe comes out, and I've done a stress relieving coil down to the regulator, and then it's going to come from the regulator and go up alongside the chassis member and around near where that screw is that you can see through the bodywork, which will bring it up near the wheel arch box inside. But yeah, I will continue with that probably tomorrow now. So yeah, that's it so far. It's going rather well. I'm quite happy with it. It's just been a struggle. But yeah, happy so far. Hello. That was a bit tougher than I thought. Just going to run the thinnest bead sealant around the edge of the filler point, not too much. Should be enough, I think. Holiday, Oliver, Oliver's. That's no help, is it? Don't kill a fly. Bye then. Yeah. So, stuff. Just got complicated. Let's hope it fits after all that. It's all hand bent. Looks like I fell on it and it twisted. So that now meets the cooker. Goes to a coil, takes it back to the wall. The wheel arch box. And along to the manifold. And then manifold has a plug in that one because it's not being used yet until we get the water heater in. And yeah, I think we're nearly ready for LPG. Oh, there's just the gauge to wire up. But yeah, that's everything else in, pipework, all good. That's the back. I just realised I haven't filmed any of that, so that's the back of the filler. The tank, I'm going to get that full of LPG and then tested properly, and I might reroute that jick hose a little bit, or tie it up better at the moment. Yeah, we'll see. And then once it's tested, I'll get to spraying it. So got some underseal for that, but I didn't want to do it and get blathered. So okay, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, just looking at these brackets, which I didn't use because I bought the Autogas 2000 ones, and I'm pretty glad that I ordered the Autogas ones. They're not the same size, the holes are in the same alignment, so yeah, they're quite shocking really. So yeah, shout out to the Autogas at least for the brackets. I didn't go with the tank because they didn't have one in the size that I wanted for the diameter that I wanted, but they do have a good selection. But having AdBlue in my van system meant that I couldn't put a tank in the usual place that they would in a crafter, so hence going with LPG shop. LPG shop took 5 weeks, and gave the same excuse that I've heard another guy on YouTube mention about customs and sending them back because the wrong paperwork. He waited 2 months for his. I suppose I should be happy that 5 weeks happened. So Yeah, one other thing there. Okay. Yes, Philip.
Ah, shit.
Okay. So, where are we again?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, what we need to do now, cut to blah 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 blah, press and hold operating button. Display will reset. It's a 30 litre tank, so this should probably go up to 25 or so, maybe 26 litres, I think, 80%. Okay, that's it, 22 litres. Right, jumpy bit. That's it. Cool. Oh, we haven't blown up yet. So if I die in this, it was all Karen's fault.
Let's buy a badge, she said.
Why are you lighting? Hey. Ooh. Next. Cooking on gas. LPG gas. We ain't gonna bang yet. It's always a good thing. Right, I need to start putting a video together, I think.